All right, if you followed part 1, you know where we're at. But if you didn't see part 1, you're into part 2. I'll put a link down in the description area, and you can see what we had to do the first go around on this repair. Okay, so the unit is working and everything. It's on a Gallagher M600. There's our information. There are also links in the description area as well to go to our websites. But let's get into this thing real quick. So what we've done so far, what we need to continue doing. Alright, so unit wasn't working at all. And it had a different transformer in it. The capacitor was pretty weak. The transformer was a yellow one. And what had happened was on the old yellow ones from like 05 when they launched this model to about 08, they had a yellow transformer in them. And then about 08, 09, it changed to a blue one. And the yellow one was a good transformer, worked fine. It just put out a little bit too much voltage and overpowered stuff and would arc. And, you know, and you'd call all this arcing fumes on the inside, and you get all this green crap start coating stuff in it. It would burn up the terminals on the board and would arc to the lightning rod, and the lightning rod would arc over to here. It over time would cause trouble. Well, they saw that way back in 07, 08, and they fixed that problem by using a different transformer that had a little bit lower voltage, like 8,000 versus like 10 or 12,000 or whatever it was, and that solved that issue. And but this one made it through the cracks, and it lasted 15, 16 years. It's an 06 unit with an 06 board. Had the original yellow transformer, and it had the original old style capacitor. They use the same capacitor now, but they use a different brand. They don't use this white one. They wear out over time. So what we've had to do so far, we had to take the terminals off the board, put new ones on there, put new terminals on the transformer or the power cord. 3 out of the 4 tabs on where the transfer plugs in this one was all burnt up, so we replaced it, and then these 2 were kind of corroded. So we replaced those. So we replaced all 3 of these new ones. This one looks perfectly fine. And did some more cleaning. It works. Everything seems to be doing fine except for 2 of the lights right here. These 2 are red, these 2 are yellow, and these last 4 are green. Well, these 2, it lights up to there green, but it won't light these 2 up. So, and I tested the output, and we're getting 8,000 volts. So it should go all the way up. But what we may need to do is we may need to calibrate this. There's an adjustment screw here, like a dimmer switch, like a trimming thing, and it doesn't adjust the output at all. It just adjusts how high up these lights can go. So we may need to adjust that, which is not that big a deal. It's a little flat screwdriver. One way will make the lights go down. One way the lights can climb higher. That's not what my issue is right now. So my issue right now that I need to take care of is these terminals. This one here is really bad on the back side here. It's barely making a connection. So we're going to desolder and pull this off. This one is really arced up right here, and it's all burnt up on the inside. So we'll desolder and pull those off. Well, I don't have these surface mount or through hole mount female spade connectors. I can get them, but they're expensive to buy them, like $3-4 for one. I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous. So if I want to buy a dozen of them, that's a lot of money. Adds up real quick. So what we do is, I'm going to show you my trick that we do here. And they're just a 1/4-inch spade connectors, basically, is what they are. Because what they do is they plug into these tabs right here, right there, and right there. And those tie into your terminal bolts for your fence and ground. So, and they're just, like I said, I got to probably replace this one because it's all burnt up. I mean, I can clean it, but I don't know, I might just replace it. But just regular female spade connectors, 1/4-inch size, will plug in right onto those with no problem. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wire up those onto this. But what we first got to do is we've got to get the originals off there. And then we got to drill a hole and work some magic. So what I need to do, what I want to do first, I'm going to clean that up. The reason why is sometimes it gets that coating on there, and the solder iron has a hard time transferring heat to the solder joint, and then the desolder braid won't pull the solder off, and it did it. It's had a little trouble, but it still pulls it off. I'm gonna do the front side, front edge, and the back edge. And then actually, I really don't need to do that since they're going away and the solder joints don't really matter. What I really need to do is just heat it up and pull them off with a pair of pliers. So we'll just heat it up. There's one. There's two. That one, the one terminal didn't even have solder on it. You can see the one tab's been on there is really short. It's been burnt off. And the other one was what was making connection. But it was only making connection to like a little sliver of solder because the solder joint on the back is all burnt up pretty bad. Alright, so now my next little magic trick is we need a drill bit. A drill. This might be this might be a better one to use. We'll start off small. We can always work our way up. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll start off small and work our way up if we have to. May not need to. Didn't get quite centered. Alright, so now I'm going to try to get centered in here. Drill a hole. Same thing over here, try to get centered of those two holes. And we need two of these. But what I got to do first is I've got to carefully come on. I need to carefully cut away this plastic around here without cutting too much of the metal. Let me go get a pair of cutters. That one's sliding. Got these snips here. Okay, oops, cut the front side there. I think should be able to grab, wiggle, and pull. There we go. And push that through like that so that we can get it off there. That's basically what I'm needing, is that right there. Without the plastic on there. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this on like this. Put a wire in here, solder it, run the wire through the little hole, and solder it back to the board. That's what we're going to do. But I am going to pull this one off. It's been arcing there for a while. It's pretty crusty. We'll see if we can clean it. See how well it turns out. I think it'll be all right. Slap that back on there. Oops. Just look at that terminal bolt real quick, make sure it's good. Yep, that one's fine. Check this one out real quick. Not arcing through, so that one's fine. Pull this off real fast, and I clean it too. This it's a little bit burnt on the back side. See there? Alright, so now I need to do the same thing for that side. So I'll pause it, do it, and then come back to it. Alright, this one's done, so we'll plug this one on here. Come on. It's stubborn. Wind up a little bit, so we pinch it down just a little bit. Broke it. So I make another one. Alright, that's all done. Alright, so let's put this board down like this first, make sure that we don't need to make the hole bigger or in a different spot. Looks like it's going to lay down there just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to get some wire. A lot of voltage running through here, but not a lot of constant current. So, which makes it nice. You don't have to use big heavy gauge wire, but I do use a solid core wire versus stranded on this type of stuff. And what I'm doing is I'm add a little solder to that wire. I'm going to fill this hole with solder and heat it back up, show the wire in there, and that should allow them to fuse right together. And what we'll do is I'll just run it to right there. So we'll just take it, snip it off. And we'll do the same thing over here. Stay there for a second. That'll hold you. Fill the hole up. Okay. Heat it back up again to liquefy the solder, shove the wire in, pull it away. Should harden up. And then we'll run this. I think we'll find this to put it right there. Take a look at the back side. Right there. We can go right there. That's what I'm going to do. Because that's kind of burnt right there, and I just don't want to come loose by accident or something stupid. First we'll clean that solder joint up with the Dremel type tool. It's nice. It has that coating on there. I don't know if the solder is going to stick to it or not, so I want to clean up to get that corrosion, burnt looking stuff off there. See, now the solder is really sticking to it good because it's a clean joint to work with. We'll add some solder to this wire here. Come on. There it goes. And then we'll add some solder to this right here. Get a little bit more on this one. Okay. Now what we'll do is heat the two of them up so they blend together. Ow, God dang. And we'll do the same thing over here. It's still kind of hot. Heat both of them up, blend the two together. That's holding, so we should be good. All right, one thing I need to still do, I need to pop this up. Just gonna lift up on it off the board at the same time. There's one. I need to mess those lights, make sure those lights still work. Okay, I think we can take a little flat screwdriver. I think it will turn. Oh, it's too small. I need a little bit bigger one. Okay, I can do it by hand. But I don't want to touch anything down there with my bare hand because I don't want to get shocked. But let's turn it on. It doesn't take much to make that little thing move a lot on those lights. So I'll plug it in here and turn the power strip on. Okay, so see, before I screwed with that little trimmer thing, little pot there, it was going all the way up to here because these bottom two are red, next two are yellow, and the next four are green. So it was going up to the second and third green, or the first and second green. I need the very top two. So I'm going to turn it. I don't know which way I need to turn it. One way it will make it go smaller. One way will make it go lower. All right, went the wrong direction. So we'll turn it back the other way. All right, try it again. Maybe I went the wrong way the first time, or second time. Oh, going the wrong way. So then that turned a whole lot. All right, got some yellow lights going. Turn a little bit more. Getting into the green now. Turn a little bit more. Something not quite right with it, but let's see if we can get it up to that green, top green. Make sure it stays there. I'm gonna grab a load deal here. I'm gonna put a 200 ohm load across it and see, make sure that the lights do fall when you load it down with the heavy load, heavier load. Yep. it goes. It's finicky. Let's see if let's test the output. Dummy. Boy, am I dumb. I forgot to put the main capacitor in it. The big one. Now let's try it. Now it's louder too. Let's back this off a little bit because I think I went way too much. Yep. We need to back it off a little bit because if it's too far, it will never fall down when you put a load on it. Still in the green. Let's back up a little bit more. Okay, now we're only going to the not quite the top green. Turn it back a little bit. Quite enough. There it goes. So we're sitting just about 8,000 volts out of it. Nothing's arcing, so that was my key thing I wanted to try to do, is keep it from arcing. All right, so this one's raring to go. Let's get the transformer. Because the transformer can't bite you. That stupid capacitor can. Now I need to plug this wire back on. There's one. There's two. Put the screws back in it. So we repaired the board, put a new transformer, new capacitor. The LED bulb broken. I'm not going to waste time changing that. That's irrelevant. It's cosmetic. This is a dummy light to tell you the power's on. But this light's flashing over here. You know the power's on. So if you need that dumb little light change, okay. But I'm not going to do it. Alright, so now it's working fine now. So let's, just for the heck of it, let's turn it off. I want to do a little spark jump across there and see what kind of spark it throws. Grab a... Oh, just grab one of these deals here. It's a 50 ohm load, 50 ohm resistor. But we're going to just touch one, touch it, see what kind of spark it'll throw. Got a nice little bite to it. Working fine. Alright, well, we will probably plug this one up, set it up to the side, let it run for a while, let things heat up and everything, but I think we'll be good to go. So hopefully you like this kind of stuff. If you've got an M600 you want to get worked on, we'll be happy to take a look at it for you. We do give free quotes, like I was saying at the beginning of the video. All of our information is down below in the description area, so you click the little drop down arrow, you can click on a link to go to our websites. There's information again right there. Fencerfixer.com is my website for talking about the electric fence boxes. And cattlescalerepair.com if you got a cattle scale, livestock low bar, weigh scale that needs to be worked on. We'll be happy to take a look at it for you. Or EID tag readers like those, and tree test ones, we'll take a look at those. So until next time, we'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your day.